I'm delighted to have in the studio with me Alan Stephenson. Alan is a resident in Moyard and has just recently published a book, which I have a copy of in front of me. It's a gorgeous looking book called Gabby, A Mythical Journey. So first of all, Alan, you're very welcome to Connemara Community Radio.
Thank you.
Welcome back, I should say, because I know you've been on before.
Well, yes.
First of all, tell me a bit about how the book came to be. Have you always wanted to be a writer?
Well, not really, actually. It just came about in when I was living in Los Angeles in 1999, and I had been told that maybe writing would be something I'd be interested in, and so I wrote a screenplay. I came back here on holidays and interviewed two ladies in Cleggan about the storms of 1928.
Oh, the big Cleggan disaster.
And they were two little girls at the time. And so this was the idea, because I remember Richard Murphy's poem, The Cleggan Disaster, about that night. And so I wrote a fictional screenplay based on true facts about the Cleggan disaster. So anyway, then it's kind of very difficult in Los Angeles because everybody's in the business, as they say. But I did get somebody to read it at Warner Brothers, but they never, they read it and they said it's good, but it's not good enough kind of thing. And they were going to do something else based in Ireland, which I don't know if they ever did or not. So.
Perhaps you should revisit that, actually.
Well, I was thinking, a few people said that.
Yeah, interesting topic.
But that was more of a screenplay than a book. So.
Yeah.
So then I went through about 10 years of just fiddling around and not really getting into it again. I painted houses in LA, and so I was busy enough. And so then when I came back from America 6.5 years ago, and I was mentally and physically not very well. And then I moved down here, and knowing that it would probably make me get better, and I did. And so the last 3.5, 4 years have been amazing.
Yeah. So you spent quite a lot of your younger years here.
Well, exactly, because...
Yeah. As we know, because I knew Alan's parents when I first came to live in Connemara, and I'm sure a lot of the rest of you do, because you'll remember the Stephensons who had Dune Restaurant in Moyard.
That's right.
And Alan is their son.
Yeah, one of four children.
Uh-huh.
And so I used to come down anyway and visit. When they moved down here, I finished high school, secondary school. And I went to work in a hotel in Dublin, and they came down here, and I think opened the restaurant 2 years later.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. I remember certainly remember the early days of it.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
Mum was the cook and Dad was the waiter.
If I remember right, they had a lovely conservatory on the house.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, which were unusual in those days.
Yeah,
around here anyway.
But it was lovely. It became very popular because it was just lunches, and it was all fresh and very simple menu. And they really put their lives into it.
Yeah, no, I must say, I remember having a few nice meals there.
Yeah.
Anyway, to get back to the book, Gabby, briefly, what's it about?
Well, it's about
without giving anything away.
No, it's all just basically all my imagination about a 16-year-old gypsy girl who's warned all her life that she might inherit these super powers, when she turned 16, and because of an old clan curse from Romania, basically. And it's a great kind of beach read. It's not too deep, but it's all very fast moving. And so she does, and these people are after her, and there's a big fight at the campsite, and they're always very security conscious about some people coming for Gabby. And anyway, she gets away, and then she's chased all around Connemara, basically. And she ends up in a kind of a Shangri-La of an island belonging to a friend of her mother's that she'd always been told about. She's always told to go to Kelly's Island. And it's a very magical place.
Is it based on a real one?
It's right.
Is it based on a real island?
No.
Okay.
But and also, there's Inishboffin's mentioned, but it's all about the animals and the sea life and how she saves, how she gets very involved with nature, and there's a lot of beauty in it, and everybody seems to like it.
Well, it sounds fascinating, and I think the fact that fantasy is very popular at the moment.
It is, and this is not all. Caroline, your daughter, actually, when she read it, said she said I could see it as a movie, and a lot of people have said that. because it's very a lot of imagination, and there wouldn't have to be too many computer graphics, computer generated images, like so many movies are nowadays. There'd be a little, of course, but it's all just everybody seems to like it.
Yeah, well, I haven't unfortunately read it yet, but I'm certainly going to. Is it going to be aimed at any particular age group?
Well, originally I thought it'd be more for teenagers, mid-teens up to young adults. But it seems that all the people who I know who've read it, over 50, have really enjoyed it. And I think I've had 2 comments on Facebook or something from young people. So it's basically it's online, and you can buy it online.
You can buy it online
in the digital form, not in the book form, because
right,
I printed these myself. Just to have a launch party.
So it's not available on Amazon or anything?
No, it's available on Kindle and that kind of thing.
Right,
but it's not in a book form yet.
Yes,
we've got to get a publisher going first.
Yeah, that might come next.
Yeah, you never know. You
never know. It does sound like a very interesting story anyway, and I think it's lovely, particularly for people around here and people who know Connemara, that they will recognise parts of it, I'm sure.
Absolutely. There's a lot. There's Cleggan's in it, a lot more, probably Little Clifton, Letterfrack. There's no Moyard, I'm sorry to say. But and then often the islands and everything, and then it's a bit of Galway, but not much. It's mostly off Cleggan and often this mysterious island.
Yeah.
You know.
And I do know, because it's mentioned in an article that I read about it, that you're planning to write some more about Gabby.
Right. Well, the second one is a bit slow, but I hope to have done by the end of the year. And it's a second one, and she's even more involved in saving the environment, which I just think is vital in the world we live in today. And then the third one, I haven't really worked it out yet, but it'll come.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Although I must admit, I'm always quite amazed at where writers get all their ideas from.
Well, I tell you, honestly, it's just where I live now in Ross, and it's just the views I have from the windows, looking out at the sea and the trees, and it's just, I spend a lot of the time just with my legs up, just looking out before I go and write, and it's...
and obviously it gives you inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's just, I just love the wildness of Connemara and the beauty, and the people have been fabulous since I came back. So.
And do you think are you planning to stay here?
Oh, absolutely. I won't go
forever and ever.
Ever and ever. Yes, indeed. I have no plans to go anywhere again. I've done the travelling.
You've done your travelling bit. Yeah, I think we all come to a point where it's just nice to settle down somewhere you know and with people you like. And
absolutely,
it's so important.
Yeah, and I've met a lot of people who say, Moira and Fraser's son, and I say, yeah. They all remember them fondly. I think, especially the bridge and the bridge lessons and everything else.
Oh yes, I was never into bridge, but I did know that she taught bridge. Yeah. So you're not involved in anything like that yourself?
Not right now, no.
Okay, but the writing is obviously keeping you very busy.
It is. I really enjoy it. I finally found. At 58, finally found what I want to be when I grow up.
Well, that's great. So, some people never do.
Well, exactly.
No, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And just to kind of wind up, I must say it's a lovely looking book. It's a lovely production. And though I shouldn't say it, I think the cover design is excellent, done by my daughter. But no, really nice looking book, and I'm looking forward to reading it now.
Well, good.
Really am.
Good.
So thank you very, very much for coming in, Alan.
Well, thanks, Marian.
Wish you all the very best of luck, not only with that one, but with the rest.
Right.
You could be the next J.K. Rowling.
But you never know.
You never know.
You never know.